Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Kurosh, joined always by my co-host, Daniel Vargas.
Mukbang.
And Daniel Jing.
Have you ever had a dream?
And if you're not familiar with what we do, we sit awkwardly at tables, sometimes indoors, sometimes outdoors, to have nerdy discussions about nerdy things with nerdy people. And we're doing that right now.
Another
we
ASMR episode. Brought to you by the guy in the room that doesn't want to fucking leave.
One guy takes up a whole conference room, yeah. But yeah, we do that every week on Mondays on podcasting services of your choice, and also on YouTube as well, if you're watching the video. So yeah, we're doing a little special. I mean, we're recording a little bit earlier, so if we end up talking less about the things we've done this week, it's my fault. So with that, what have you guys been up to this last 3?
So I forgot to bring this up last time, but I've got an email from
Thunderful?
Thunderful.
Thunderfluff.
Thunderful. So I got a copy of SteamWorld Dig 2.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know what the second one's called. It's not the downhill game. But they're both on Steam.
Anthill?
No. It's one that was on display, but it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
So SteamWorld Dig 2.
That's cool.
And then the other one is another one. So if you want SteamWorld Dig 2 on Steam.
He has.
I 100% of that game.
On Steam.
Ooh.
I thought it was one that you played.
No.
Okay.
2 came out, and I was like, should I go back and play 1? But they don't have features that 2 has, and I'm worried.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as good.
So I'm like,
All right, then I guess I'll just
you should play it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Other than that, I picked up Destiny.
I saw the text.
Crazy grind. Like in one day, I went from max level and like 500 light level. So,
on PC?
Yeah, on PC.
Ooh.
So I'm killing it right now.
So now
almost
you're
at the
giving me
raid,
reasons to stay on PC.
I'm killing it. Almost at the raid within the time allotted for me to get a bomber jacket. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn.
How are you liking it?
I don't know. PC, honestly, I'm not digging it so far. I'm having so many issues with my own PC setup and stuff. So
Would you say that it's less? Is it more the game that's bothering you, or is it?
I feel like it's something on my end. It's either my performance, my PC not performing very well, or it's honestly internet connection. It's constantly cutting in and out because. I was seeing the issues with Discord. You kept constantly cutting out when I was talking to you, and then I just see lag, and I don't know if that's frame rate lag or if that's input lag, as in from like the internet, like causing like lag to happen, and it's just trying to load up. But yeah, like playing Gambit was not fun.
It made it more exciting
and challenging
because
handicap modifiers.
Yeah, we were playing a match, and like we should have been winning. Like I feel like you're very proficient. I was holding my own at a little better the second round, and but then like there'd be like glitches or lags, and we'd be like, "Fuck, we should have caught." Like we saw it, and then I couldn't talk to him. Like we'd be talking, all of a sudden,
cuts out.
And so I'm like, I don't know if you can hear me, but there's a guy left, and then there's a guy right, and I'm working on the guy in the middle. I'm like, I hope he hears me. He's better. Like, as long as he sees what I see, then he's good. And we pulled some clutch wins. Like, I think you went to the other side to prevent them from being there.
And
we all just supered the shit out of ours.
I killed one guy that had like their most orbs. But also I got very lucky because when I jumped in, he's literally like running away from where I landed.
Oh,
so I'm just like popping him from the back of the head, and I just got him. And so he went down. The other guy came out, and then one of them like. Dude, he was one shot, and I had my hand cannon, and I'm like, I don't want to, like, I could have easily just, like, and then punched, but I didn't want to punch because it wouldn't count as a hand cannon kill, which I need to get, like, a special gun.
Yeah,
and so I just, like, I got greedy, and he fucking killed me.
Damn. So you've been doing that?
So I've been doing that. So with World of Warcraft, I'm kind of, like, chill back. I've caught up to where I need to be. So, like, doing daily stuff isn't as important. I've already, like, I haven't maxed out on reputation. Okay. I need one more level, but it's like the most, when it comes to experience at the level that I'm at. But it's not important because there's nothing that is needed to unlock the new level yet. It'll come in the future, but by then I'll probably, like,
do they have a timeline for that? Or do they kind of just tell you when it happens?
they kind of tell you when it happens. I mean, we know that it's going to be there. So, like, right now, there's a new class that you unlock if you max out the reputation for 1.
Okay.
But, like, it's a stupid grind, which I could easily do in, like, 2-3 days. But it's like, I don't want to put that much work into it anymore. I'll just slowly work towards it because I don't plan on using that character anyways.
Oh, okay.
And then they have a new class that's going to come out soon, like, in the future. I don't know how soon.
They've teased it.
Yeah, and that one you're gonna have to max out another certain faction, and like by the time it's out, I'm more than likely would have already maxed that out anyways too. So at this point, it's just like doing my major dailies, and then I'm done for the day. I don't like grind anything else. Other than that, that's it.
Jang, what have you been up to?
I've been playing Super Metroid.
Yeah.
I actually streamed it. I'm almost done with the game. Supposedly, the people said it's like a 8-hour game or 7-hour game. No, actually, it's like a 4-hour game.
Super Drifter?
Super Metroid.
Oh.
So I've been playing a whole bunch of Metroidvanias.
You that like hyper drift?
Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
I've been playing a lot of Metroidvanias, and I never beat Super Metroid. I was stuck.
Which I think is so crazy because I think the reason you feel like it's so short, like I feel like back then it was like a really long game, but like you're so used to like platinuming. Like
GTA.
these Grand Theft Auto games that like take weeks.
Red Dead Redemption.
Well, you're like 4 hours. The fuck, I could do like 3 of these games in one day, dude.
You been enjoying it though?
Yeah, dude, there's a boss fight in there. Fucking amazing. I'm like, damn, for a Super Nintendo, like, that's fucking good. It reminds me of the Super Mario 3DS one. Bowser's, the very first Bowser fight.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
exactly the same.
Okay.
Like, it's like, oh, that's where they took it from. Hyper Light Drifter. Dude, I bought a shit ton of indie games. It's disgusting, dude. It's like, you know how like if you have a lot of Switch games, you can unlock that super menu.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm beyond it.
It's funny because like you were explaining in the last one, like into the breach, and like he even said it. He was like, "Oh, that's probably not like my kind of game."
No, it is my kind of. I played Advance Wars.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
I was just like, I don't want to get
Another
into
one.
that kind of game because it could get deep.
You just get sucked down this pole of
Like-
I can do this map better.
Yeah,
I
And
can
you
do
ended
this
up-
one better.
Yes.
And you ended up getting sucked.
and it's like chess, dude.
Yeah.
Into the breach
Dude,
is
it's
like,
hard. I saw your thing. I need to like learn from you. Teach me something.
oh no, dude. I don't know. You just
I didn't
just
know
have
you could
to,
undo
like-
moves. I thought that's how
Oh.
hardcore this game
Oh,
was.
no.
Was that like once you commit to a maneuver,
I
fuck
thought
yourself.
You were playing hardcore.
I thought pilots died. That was very like Fire
it doesn't
Emblem.
teach you much. It's just
Yeah.
like go, figure it out. And because it kind of plays into the mechanic of like it's a roguelite in that you just reset the timeline.
That's kind of how Faster Than Light or
Hyper Light Drifter?
FTL.
Oh, FTL, I see
which
it.
is the same creators of,
Yeah.
of Into the Breach. Like when you're playing, it like teaches you a demo, and then you realize like that's the real game, and then like you end up dying, and it like starts all over again, and you're just like start all over again.
Ender's Game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's how the tutorial.
Yeah,
it
it's the
affects-
first mission.
Yeah, it's the
and
first
it's like,
mission.
by the way, this is we're letting you go now.
You're,
Figure it out.
You're
from
now
there.
live.
And
You're
then
like, what? I'm not
Hyper
ready.
Light Drifter, fucking hard.
You enjoying
That
it?
I like the completionist wants to complete everything, so I'm not enjoying it because there's things that I'm missing.
And
Like
need to
you
go
know
back
those
to levels.
nodes.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I had to look at a guide. I haven't done it. I haven't gone back to it, but
You mentioned something, and it kind of made me think of you too. You said you did it kind of like lets you choose which fights or directions you go in order, and there's
Mhm.
more difficult ones to start with.
mhm.
So you started that way?
I went the hardest.
And you
boss.
did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I was reading into it, like
Yeah.
New Game Plus, I'm not going to do the trophy. New Game Plus, it's called Masochist. I was like, why is a New Game Plus? Like, I was trying to put two and two together because New Game Plus is you have all your abilities from last game.
And this one
is not. They only give you 2 health nodes. You have all the power ups though.
Still.
But it's a one hit.
Yeah,
it's
it's
pretty
just
much that
don't get
boss
hit.
will one hit you, and I can't dodge him like 100%. So
And you were mentioning when I was asking you like how the thing you like, yeah, I didn't realize that the barons were different light levels. So you went after the hardest ones first.
specifically the rifleman's the one I had the trouble with.
Man,
And
that would have
so-
pissed me off.
So the rifle. So I guess he was explaining that there are it was like 6
Yeah.
or 7.
There's 6, and then the last 2 are like.
So yeah,
campaign
so there's
missions.
total of 7, but like there's 6 guys that you have to kill before you can reach the next 2 guys,
Yeah.
and one of them is called the rifleman. And this guy in the storyline, he's the one who shoots
Cade's ghost. Which prevents him from resurrecting.
Yeah,
Like, that's
like-
your
yeah, like that's how
infinite
you
life.
the reason like you're able to restart in this game is because you have a ghost who revives you. And this guy, he like runs up like somewhere far away, is aiming at Cade the whole time. You're thinking like, oh, this motherfucker's gonna shoot Cade. This is how he dies. And then like as soon as like Cade like beats like everything, he's like, all right, dude, help me out. And he busts out his ghost, and like
The guy gets him.
the guy gets him, and you're just like, this is the motherfucker that I gotta beat the shit of. So I went after this guy first because of the storyline. I was just like, this motherfucker's gonna do that first. And yeah, the light level required is like insanely high
Compared
and
to when you start, it's like way
to the
I
point.
think that's the boss fight Summit was playing, where you go up an elevator and he just like snipes you. No, that's not him.
No,
Okay.
No, he might have been doing like a
it might have been some other
like a
content.
dungeon or something.
or a strike.
Yeah, like a strike. But so this is how close I was to like meeting the requirements to just do this mission. I switched guns, which dropped me 1 light level, and it caused the boss to be such a high level from me that I wouldn't do any damage to him. I would hit him and it's an immune.
It just doesn't even show their.
And I was like, first I was thinking like, what the fuck? Am I like doing something wrong?
Yeah.
Like, do I have to? Am I using the wrong like energy weapon? And I switched back and I realized like, oh my god, it's increasing my light level by 1, which puts me within like the 30
threshold.
like level threshold to like actually
To
be able to
barely
just
be able to do
be
this.
able to damage. And oh my god, yeah, he would one shot me. He's like, he has a perfect aim. He has a perfect aim. So if I'm running and I'm out in the open, I have to be running in one direction. And he like shoots and barely misses me every fucking time.
And then if one of the little guys that's running around chasing you too, like
He-
tickles you.
So what he
done.
does is he creates holograms of himself,
Yeah.
but then he can be any hologram.
Ah.
Yeah.
So if you don't kill the holograms and he's like somewhere far away, I'll be like, oh shit, and I'll hide and I look the other way, and all of a sudden he's here. I'm like, what the fuck? And so you have to kill all the holograms as fast as you
Naruto
can.
style.
And then after a certain point, he like he brings out like mobs, but these mobs are like close to his level as well. So then they're very tough for me to kill. So I'm like running and then turning around shooting. So I have to run behind cover every
360
time.
no scope.
Yeah, and then turn around and just like not kill one guy and then continue running.
Grenade.
Like, and that was me over and over and over again. And I had to like, I couldn't stop if I wasn't behind cover because he would just one shot me.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he aims and then just shoots. It's like,
He was doing New Game Plus.
so
like,
I did like 2 hours worth of this guy just to beat
That's
him.
funny how like these games leave those options open to people, thinking it'd be like, oh, this is fun and like I can approach it differently.
But then
It's like,
dumbasses like me aren't paying
this
attention.
is painful. You're gonna hate, and it can affect your feelings of the game. Like if you're playing the hardest way, then you're just like fuck this game.
But I'm not gonna lie, that boss, honestly, that difficulty felt like how a raid should be. Like it like even though I was under geared, like there's still like a certain amount of things I can do
Yeah.
to continue on. Like I feel like that's how it, normally like a lot of like the older stuff feels like it's brute force. Like I have to have the best gear and like just last as long as possible. But with this one, like even though I didn't have the
Like,
best
what do you
gear,
mean
I could
older
still
stuff?
like the older content that they used to have. Like one of the
Any of it? Because I don't think all of it. Like that's a broad. They have
yeah.
a lot
I'm
of
trying to
content.
think of one.
That's why if you have an example, maybe.
Yeah, there was one I remember. Like I felt like it was brute force more than it
There's
was
definitely
skill.
like ones where they lean more into the brute force
Mhm.
stuff, and there's other ones where they lean purely into the
Like skill.
mechanics side of
And
it.
I'm thinking
And
because
it's
I feel like it was one of the raids, but no, most of the raids were like mechanical, like destroy these blocks so that you don't like fucking get
Yeah, I
eaten
think
alive.
one of the only the Destiny one, the earlier ones, Crota, was like the second raid.
Oh yeah,
That was mostly like just brute force it.
the
The
like
sword.
doing the chicks or whatever, the witches or whatever,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
wizards.
yeah.
That was oh my god.
People
dude.
have been able to do it solo.
Yeah,
And-
but those are again like I feel like there's still a certain amount of skill, but like it's
Yeah.
more like leveled on light level. Like if
Yeah.
you're not high enough,
Like which is where
you're
you're
gonna
saying.
not have a fun time. Yeah, that's the one I think I was thinking of.
Going
Played
back to yeah.
Blackout as well.
Oh yeah.
Call
what
of
was
Duty.
that? How was that?
It's all right. It's all right.
It-
Not my thing.
What do you think? Do you think
It's not
long-
it'll kill PUBG. It's not the Fortnite killer. It's like PUBG on steroids, but there's no like bloom and there's no like
What's Bloom?
like randomized bullet hits.
Oh,
If
okay,
Fortnite
okay.
and PUBG has randomized bullet hits, so it's RNG. You could be aiming at someone, but it could
like
still
a
miss.
stormtrooper.
Yeah,
Okay.
or Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
So
It's because it's bringing like the way the game is
Mhm.
from the original series.
and you don't have to like, you know, aim for elevation. Like
so they're
it's
trying to
laser.
bring in
Like,
the satisfying feeling of like a Call of Duty gunplay with the mechanics of like a battle royale.
mm-hmm.
Is it as many players? Is it like 100?
It's like 80.
Why?
I don't know. I think they're
and
testing
you can do
it.
squads or solo.
Yes, I only did solo. What's crazy is like you have to immediately drop, no matter what, because you can drop anywhere and you can land on any point of the map because of your wingsuit. Like you can drop anywhere.
I'm curious. I think what could. I mean, the only way I see that or any of these other ones of like these polished AAA companies. I know Epic's AAA, but like Fortnite wasn't originally one of these top like legacy franchise games. Is the constant rotation of fresh content. I feel like that's going to be what is going to be new for the Call of Duty franchise or the Battlefield franchises to be able to make this feel fresh and relevant, because like Fortnite keeps it trendy, keeps it relevant with like John Wick, Thanos, the dances, the emotes. Can you do emote stuff in Black Ops?
Not that. No, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe not. It's weird. Perks
Yeah.
or poppable pills that last for a certain time.
Huh.
So
Bioshock
like
style.
dead silence, and the thing is like that game is gonna be a camp fest. Like if
Really?
that's what's good about Fortnite is if you're getting shot at, you can build a fort and protect yourself. In this game, if you're not in a good terrain, you're just gonna get smoked. Like
I'm curious how it's gonna play out for them.
it'll kill PUBG, not Fortnite.
Well, I'm curious what PUBG will have to do to like push it up and stay relevant. So, okay. I think another thing to go with that is they're only on consoles and PC, right? For Black Ops.
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite and PUBG have the whole mobile
Right.
gameplay going for them and cross-platform.
Mm-hmm.
So these are things I think as it's going to keep going with more and more franchises trying to do the battle royale. They're like, this is how they're successful. We have to, and maybe enough of these games are doing it to the point where like PlayStation, all these companies are like, we just need to make everything cross-platform.
Oh, I do like how they used maps. So each drop point is like a multiplayer map. That is so cool. Like so, Nuketown is there.
So it's all, like,
Shipyard,
one fused,
Shipyard
like-
is there, dude.
Oh, so they put all their maps like into one big map.
That that is
So,
fucking
like,
cool.
really
And
cool.
the target,
Yeah.
that little, I forgot what it was called, firing range.
Mhm.
Fuck,
Okay.
that's cool.
Interesting.
I was gonna ask you. So I think you were saying that PUBG is huge in like
Korea.
Do you think this game would
I don't
trump
know.
that
I don't know.
in Korea?
It
Because I think
might.
that's a better.
It's like a smooth PUBG. It's like smooth.
That's
Polish.
why. So because it doesn't like you feel like there's like a small bit of lag when you're playing PUBG. Like you
Mhm.
open a door and like it takes like a
I feel
half
like a lot
second.
of people's experience with PUBG were when it was still in its early access.
It
too.
still feels like that
It's
though.
have you been
Yeah.
on recently?
Yeah,
Okay.
like it hasn't like they haven't really smoothed out those things. I feel like
Okay.
those are part of PUBG,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay,
it
I
just
thought
kind
they
of sucks.
Fixed that.
Yeah.
soon. Okay, that sucks. We'll see. Interesting. Do you see any other indies on your horizon after what you're playing now?
There's like an indie called Deplorable or Despicable.
Okay.
Like I was watching the top 10 indie games to look for. And there's another one, a time travel one, where it's a guy and a girl, and it's about memories. And the level's just like a spiral, and you have to grab.
the smiling one.
You have to grab
Or
it, but you
ends.
can reverse time. I forgot what it was called.
Braid?
No.
That game fucked me up.
But
Okay.
those
Cool.
two.
It's funny because if you look at the Nintendo, the eShop top games right now, 8 of them are like indie games.
Right.
It's like Undertale is on there,
Into the
Hyper Light
Breach,
Drifter, Dead
Mess-
Cell, Into the Breach. And
I think
like,
Monster Hunter is on there.
Yeah,
top
it's still
10.
on there. That's definitely good. But
Never gonna play that game again.
I mean, I will. I just there's other stuff on my Destiny. Like I'm
coulda
playing.
just-
The thing with me is
I could have bought 6 indie games.
I could have just not bought it. Exactly.
well, okay.
What
but Undertale's one I'm excited about.
Mm.
I've always heard like this game is amazing.
It's
Or-
weird.
Have you finished it?
I've never
Oh.
finished it.
I heard it's very interesting. It
I've
kinda
dabbled into it.
reverses your expectations. Have you played Guacamelee?
No,
I
it doesn't
think-
interest me. But
No?
it's like a Metroidvania, right?
Yeah, it is very much a Metroidvania.
Is it on the Switch?
2's coming out.
Yeah, 2's coming out. I think 1 is on the Switch. 2's definitely coming to the Switch.
Maybe.
We played it at
yeah, PSX.
and it was
Well,
It's glitching out.
It
ours
errored
version.
out at the end. Like,
But it was only that one. Like they had like 3 stations, and the one station we're playing at, they left early because it had glitched out on them early out, and then it did it to us too. And the guy apologized.
Yeah,
and I think
it's fine. We got our stamp,
Yeah,
or our card or whatever.
exactly.
But I enjoyed the game. It was very much Metroidvania style. Like, oh, you learned a new ability, do some climbing, all that stuff. I'm like,
Oh, I bought Steamroll Dig too, though.
oh yes.
So eventually,
Chill streams.
Eventually, dead
Eventually.
streams.
Hey, when you
Chill
both play it, after you've watched Stranger Things season 2, we can all review Steamroll Dig 2.
2019.
Chill streams, aka dead streams.
Why? Really? Does it?
People want to watch Vice City, and I'm like, I'm done with that.
So there you go. Winner 2019.
Oh,
you
now
can
the
expect
people are mad
the
because I
review
just
of-
said I'm done with it.
the people.
I'm like,
Anything else? For me, I've been working a lot of overtime, so I haven't had too much time to do stuff. But played Destiny on PC still. I'm sticking. So far, I'm like, how long have I before I relapse in the other way? And I've been sticking with it. And I feel like I'm getting to a point, and I'm trying to rationalize it too, like give myself a reason to stick with one. Like with PS4, I was like, I started Destiny 2 on PS4. I want to finish that Solstice Moment of Triumph. But now I'm like, wait, I did that. Maybe this is a new chapter. I'll start year 2 on PC and just like clean start.
That's what I was
New
trying
year,
to
new
say,
me?
but then you were like, I have everything on
No,
PS4.
yeah, I ears were shut off to reason. But like also it was like, oh, all these guns I've worked towards, but I've slowly been accumulating them. Like I was mentioning, there was like a very special sniper, and because the great thing about new content in Destiny, looking for groups for the new content is very difficult and very elitist. It's like
oh yeah.
must have done 50 runs already in the first day.
But because
quick run.
PC is brand new,
Well, no, they still do that on PC. But what happens is the content from like last expansion, which people were like, hey, I'll carry you through this content for $15, like charging people to do it
Wow.
because it was in demand. People want to do it. That stuff is super easy to find now. So, and that's the stuff I'm missing. I haven't done any of the old raids for Destiny 2. I didn't do the whisper thing, the sniper. So I was like, I'll find the sniper quest. I did it in like 20 minutes. Like super easy to find a group. Escalation Protocol was very hard before. The horde mode thing, super easy to find. And the way you find it on PC is easy. You join like a PC Discord group for Destiny, and they have lobbies for voice chat preset to like the limit of how many. Like if you can only do 9 people in the
people can
Escalation
go in.
Protocol, they cap it at 9. And
Oh.
as long as there's a spot open, you just hop into that voice chat and be like, "Hey, do you guys have room?"
and they're like, no, man, and,
And
then
like,
they leave.
yeah, they'll be
So
like,
what's
"Oh,
the light level, bro?
Yeah,
oh,
those-
get
yeah.
out of here, dude.
Usually, yeah.
Wait, I need to find that then.
But
Shit.
it's like I did that for Escalation Protocol. It was the easiest thing. Whereas PS4, I'm just sitting there. I'm like,
Oh my god.
LFG Reddit post. I'm like, refresh.
So do the name of the groups like indicate the thing that they're doing?
Yeah, they have like 10 lobbies, voice chats
So
for
that-
Escalation, 4 for Nightfalls, 3,
So
whatever.
that Discord group, they don't have a PS4 section?
There's other ones, but their PS4 uses they use either Reddit posts more or
Oh
they use
God.
other stuff more. Like
But it's also not intuitive in a sense of like I have to like look at my PC then go back or look on my phone and then like
you can use the Destiny app itself for either of these. Like you pick your platform, and after you told me about it the first time I was like, you can do that. That's been my go-to, and then I'll try the Discord thing. But for PS4, that's like the only thing I've really done. I
Yeah.
stopped doing the whole Reddit thing because like by the time I finished typing, 8 people have already responded. I'm like, fuck this. So I've been playing Destiny. You helped me with my second character. I just want to get through the campaign with all 3 characters of this new content because I don't want to have to go back and be like, I don't want to do that character because I never got through the story with them. I want them all through the story.
and
so
I
can
realized that if I want to do 2 more characters, I got to start from level 1.
not just the beginning of this beginning of everything.
But
Unless
you said it was easy, right? To level up to a certain point.
It was. I didn't realize. I still thought the max was level 30, and then from there, or 20, and then from there you just have to
Light
get
level.
light level. No, like they added like 30 more fucking levels, and then it's like level
If you
top.
want, this is purely if you want to pay money. If you buy silver, you can buy the level boost
Yeah.
pack that auto does that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna do another character.
Okay.
I thought it was. Mine looks like a devil though. I made him a
Devil
Cade, a cyborg or whatever.
Oh, the cybernet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was making them for PC, and I was like, Katie was always seeing me. She's like, "You're always like a robot or a dude or something. Can I make a character?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine. I don't care." Whatever.
Makes you into
Challenge
Kamara.
accepted.
She made
A Goomba?
a girl hunter for me, and I was like, "All right, this will be the character I play, like to do like badass stuff." And I'm like, "All right."
And then all of a sudden you look and you're like, wait, that's Mara. That's the queen of fucking the Awakened, dude.
Yeah.
Awoken.
But I was telling her, I'm like, I know her dad plays a lot of video games. He plays SWTOR,
Oh,
which is like
wow.
the MMO for WoW.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like WoW, but
It's
the
the
MMO
Star
for
Wars
Star Wars.
MMO,
sorry.
yeah.
And he plays Mech Warrior, the online
Old
Mech
school?
Warrior. No, it's old school, but
Hawken?
it's like online. It's free.
Oh wow.
But he's like
He's got this.
no, he doesn't have the stick. He's in a clan, I think, and I don't.
This
know
is Katie's dad.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I love him.
And she's
he's
like,
the best.
what are games? And he's like,
because like there are times where I'll tell her, I'm like, hold on, I'm in the middle of a game, and she's like, you sound like my dad. And I'm like,
that's
we're
amazing.
gamers, bro.
That's amazing.
It's life. No,
That's cool.
It's fine. Anyway, he's playing on MechWar, and like she told me, she's like, yeah, he said he's like on someone's stream once or something. He's like, can you find clips of him maybe? I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't know when and where to look
Yeah.
for Mech Warrior online. But like he was telling me once in conversations, like he's in the top of the leaderboards of like ranked. Like
Wow.
I was like, I was showing him clips of like other like dads streaming. I'm like, if you ever, because he's retired, I'm like, if you ever decide to stream, like
You should
it's
join.
you would kill. I think.
Yeah.
But he's like, Katie brought up a good point. It's like when you're not like when you open yourself up.
Yeah.
And with that comes like people will say things and like to a regular person and that could impact how you feel. And
Mm-hmm.
that is the barrier of like whether people are like ready for that or not. And so I'm like, yeah, that's probably not a good idea because it could mess with him and he wouldn't like gaming anymore. And I'm like, just enjoy what you're doing. Like that's fucking awesome. My point with this was, I'm wondering because he's played PlanetSide 2 a lot.
Mm.
So I'm like, okay, he's played first person shooter. Maybe I could get him into Destiny 2, and we could
Ooh.
play on PC together. Like Christmas.
That would be crazy.
Christmas time. I would be like, this is the best bonding activity of all time.
Bonding ghosts.
She's like, I'm gonna go see my dad. I'm like, nah, he's raiding with
You can just talk to him right here. He's on the
me.
mic.
Yeah. No, he's super cool. He's awesome. So yeah, I've been playing Destiny. There was Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I caught bits of it because I was looking forward. They had a few storylines that I was like eager about. It was overall pretty good.
What day was that on?
That was Sunday.
Did you trying to? Oh no, Saturday was Triple G.
Triple G.
Canelo, boxing.
Oh, okay.
Rigged.
But Lesnar showed up, which was interesting. I thought he was going to be gone for a long. But everyone was like, okay, now that was a clear break, obviously, for him to go do UFC. But he showed up. He's like, I'm not done here.
Yeah.
And it's because WWE's been doing international stuff more because international companies like Japan Wrestling
Mhm.
have been coming to US more.
Mm.
And one of the few untapped like by Western sporting networks or programs is Saudi Arabia. And they did one big pay-per-view there a few months ago called the Greatest Royal Rumble. It's like a 50-man Royal Rumble. Mostly it's 30 men. They're going back again for another pay-per-view special for Saudi Arabia. But it's like kind of like in this weird area because they're getting shit, and you could argue one way or the other that, and I'll say why. The reason being, when they go, one of Saudi Arabia's condition is we don't allow women wrestlers.
Oh wow.
So none of the women go, and in addition to that, none of the women get paid. So they're missing out on a paycheck
Mm-hmm.
or whatever for being pro wrestlers and
Right.
stuff. So it's like that sucks. And by them doing this could be a topic in itself. Is like by them doing business with them on a financial level, is that like are you supporting this or
Mhm.
not? Like I don't know. It's a argument to be made or had. But on the flip side, they're doing a pay-per-view coming up, I think, in Madison Square Garden that's only for the women. It's like, this is going to be like a huge platform.
Yeah.
We're going to like sell this sucker out, make you guys super badasses.
And Jinder is gonna be there.
Who?
Jinder.
Jinder Mahal? He's dumb. But yeah, he'd probably be there. But I think Lesnar's coming back because it's a big paycheck. They're going to have him be one of the hallmarks of that. And then he'll probably go off. So watched a little bit of that. I'm getting ready to play some Switch. I've been saving. I was like, after PAX, I was like, I'm not going to play some Switch games. Go back to Destiny and stuff. And now I'm going to travel to Vancouver.
Picking it back up.
I'm like, into the breach, round 2. I got to get back into it. Messenger. I'm debating about these games where it's like repetitive but grindy, like Dead Cells and these, versus like making progress towards like something like Octopath or one of my other games. It's like I could do either benefits in some way. I don't know. I'll see what mood I'm in. But I think that's it. Oh, the last thing was Pokemon Go. I haven't talked about that in a while. They recently did an event where all the regional Pokemon, like Mr. Mime was only in Europe, Farfetch was only in Japan, Kangaskhan was only in Australia, Tauros Americas, and they did an event now where they're like, hey, we're doing one last big special hurrah before new stuff comes out, where all of those will be available through hatching eggs. You get eggs from gifting to other friends. And people are like, oh my God, we're going to have so many Mr. Mimes. It's going to be so cool. Finally.
They're fucking rare.
The chances of getting these suckers is bullshit. I'm the extreme. So I'm like hatching eggs every like hour. So like, and like.
Did you get every single one?
I've gotten one of everything.
Okay.
But I counted how many eggs. It took me like almost 40 eggs to hatch.
To get every single one. At least one.
At least one.
And some were duplicated before you made the following ones.
So like I got like 4 Kangaskhan's.
Before you got like.
Before I got like. Today I
What
got
was the
one
last
Mr.
one?
Mime,
That's-
one Farfetched.
Those were the last 2 that you needed?
Well, I mean, I already had them through trading and stuff.
What was the last one that you were like, I need this last one?
No, I had them all already prior to this.
Yeah.
But it was just cool because I was like, oh, this is great because people are going to get them. They're going to have multiple ones of them. You can trade them now because I'd had them traded to me. And once you trade it once, you can't trade it again.
What? That's crazy.
They try to limit it so you can't keep just like rotating and I don't know, breaking the game. But the fact that it was such a high thing because you only get one free incubator. You have to pay to get more incubators. And anytime I spend money on this game, it's to get incubators because you get a lot of starters from them. And then I just like hatch an egg. I don't know what it is. I like eggs.
So that's 40 fucking kids. Oh, wait.
Well, you get them like when you get one incubator, it's 3. You can use it 3 times.
Okay.
So you get a lot. I don't know. I have a lot. And I was like, I know I'm the extreme, but I know friends that aren't, and I'm like, this is shitty because they're trying to play. This game should be catered towards the average, not the extreme.
Yeah.
Right.
Because this is such an openly accessible game. And I'm like, I think that's sort of like leaning in the wrong side of things because it's like.
I think.
What did it say?
I don't know. Something happened.
Just look at it real quick. Cool.
Wait, has it been recording?
Has it not been
I
recording?
think so. There's a red dot.
Wait, is that battery? Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I charged it.
Uh-oh.
Onigiri.
Battery's low.
Onigiri.
All right, well, we'll keep going until it dies.
Black screen.
I think
Audio.
the issue is like you're talking about extremes, but the thing is like if they make it too easy, the people that are extreme will exploit the fact how easy it is and like gather a shit ton of them.
But as a reward bonus, okay, before pause, the video might cut out at a certain point. So if you want to watch the rest of this podcast and you watch the video, go to watch it on our SoundCloud or our podcast. Sorry about that.
Apologize.
This is poor planning again on my part.
Hell yeah, dude.
So anyway, this is supposed to be like a reward, and I feel like they have different sets of rewards. They've had rewards where it's like catered towards like if you're an extreme player, you can really get like all the Moltres that are special and all this, way more than an average player is. But this is to be like this is a chance for everyone to get regionals.
Yeah.
So if you're an extreme player, you already have one probably by now.
Do you think?
I don't know. I just feel like that this one thing.
Do you think one way it should have been really cool was like as long as there's like 4 regionals, as long as you hatch 4 individual eggs, you're guaranteed one.
Yeah, your first one should your first 4 should be guaranteed.
Exactly.
One.
Like and they won't stack. So like as soon as you get Farfetch, it understands you got Farfetch.
Easy solution.
You're gonna get the next one. So like as long as you've done 4 throughout that whole event time, you're gonna get those.
The thing is, it's only eggs also that you get. Like if you have eggs already, the way the game works, if you have eggs before the event, and you can only carry so many. If you have eggs from before the event, you have to hatch those to make space for the new eggs because only the new eggs will get you in.
And how do you know the difference between? Is there?
It's just the date you get it.
Just know.
Some
Because,
guys
like,
like
the
hoarding
event-
eggs.
Like you
Yes.
can only like I was like, oh, I have 9 eggs. Should I hatch them now? I'm like, I'll hold on to them and see what happens. And I got them to hatch right as the event started. Nothing. And it was old stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll try with the new batch now. And I
And
got
same
like
thing, you're
one
like,
thing. I got an American regional. I'm like, what the fuck's the point of me getting an American regional? I don't know. I just feel like it was missed.
Yeah.
Like the way they're doing it is I'm hoping, and like I saw Reddit posts saying like, because there were studies of like top people taking statistics of
It's like
3,000 eggs have been hatched. This is the percentage of this,
God
and it's
damn.
like 3% or 12%
From us.
total are regional. And people were like, all right, I'll just wait till my really hardcore friend gets them all and trades me them. And I'm like, I feel like it's my coworker.
That's the answer for everybody.
Like,
The problem is, like,
that's
all of them are going to do that. And you're like, I don't have enough for all y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That was the last thing. But you guys want to get into topics?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you want to start with?
We should just charge, batteries. That's my
If you want
topic.
to catch us on Patreon, finish the rest of this video.
We don't have a Patreon, though, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. You just want to give us cash? We'll take that.
I don't do. Who did you put first?
We can start with yours.
Did you put mine first?
No.
Well, then we can go. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I forgot. I need to rename the episode.
Well, ours segues, so
Yeah.
we gotta go.
Do you want to start with me?
Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
you got to go back to, like, he says, like, if it goes, you got to go into his or yours, whatever.
Yeah.
So then I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. So, Henry Cavill, he
What a hunk.
has no plans to continue to be Superman as of right now. And
This is true.
then Warner Bros. Has no plans to make a solo Superman anytime soon. So as of right now, I believe like what the contract isn't being renewed for them for Henry. So as of right now,
No Superman.
no Superman, no Henry Cavill being Superman.
He's
So,
done.
and then there's rumors, some ridiculous rumors, because I don't think there's any like. I think it was just a rumor created by a news
Yeah.
company to start like to have a clickbait title, but like they're talking about Michael B. Jordan,
Could be.
possibly.
No.
Yeah.
But
There's only one man that can be Superman. Nicolas Cage.
Damn
Let's
right.
go. Let's
Bring
go.
him back. Bring him back.
Nick Cage. Superman lives.
after maybe having seen what is it called?
Mandy?
Mandy. I
He
might
should be cyborg.
might change my
Superman.
might change my mind.
I've come back.
But yeah, like what do you guys think of the future of Superman, future of DC, and who should we cast as Superman?
I think enough shit because this isn't the first. I think Batfleck is done too.
Yeah, I think same thing with like Wise with contracts.
Like
It's
I
over
think
and he
he's
doesn't want to
doing-
renew it.
He's set to do one more like
Mhm.
Stranger Suicide Squad
Mhm.
2 related appearance of some sort. I don't know to what extent that is, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's the guy that directed the Planet of the Apes movies. He's doing a Batman movie, and it's not going to be the same Batman. And I'm like, okay. Then this news happened with
Nick
Superman.
Cage both being Superman and Batman.
Yeah, the same year. And this is happening with Superman with Henry Cavill leaving. I'm like, can you guys just start over or just not?
I saw-
or just not start?
I saw a meme that
Into the breach. Let's go back in time.
I saw a meme that like the
Bring
Thanos snap
back-
was breaking into the
disappear.
DC universe. It was
It
funny.
is cool in one sense that Wonder Woman is the franchise to carry success with this new universe. I'm like, that's a really cool
The thing is, like, it seems like they're putting all of their money to have Supergirl carry them because that's what they're focusing on.
with her.
But they're focusing on this is going to be their next focus.
They haven't, but I mean, they haven't done it.
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
So I
Which
wouldn't
is
say
why
they've done the show.
what I mean is like at least the articles indicate that they're focusing on the Supergirl movie that they're planning on making is what it seems like it's saying.
But the character is not.
I feel like they're doing a good job with the TV show that it would undermine that. And they've done that with The Flash recently,
Mhm.
where they have the TV Flash show, which has gone down the drain in my opinion. But then they did this movie version, which is like, it's okay, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just do one and do it good. And so if my take on this, it sucks because Henry Cavill, I think, was a good casting choice. I just think the writing didn't, in the general pacing and the movies he had weren't on par with that. I think Batfleck, I mean, he wasn't bad. He was good. I enjoyed some of the moments with him. And again, I think the use of him was not best utilized.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, they should go back. They shouldn't try to emulate Marvel with a lot of this. I feel like they're failing in that. Like they've across the board, they're failing. Like screw the Suicide Squad Oscar win or whatever. They should go to what got them the biggest success with The Dark Knight. Isolated, like really like on the level of like critical, like this is not being compared just to other superhero movies. This is being compared to like Gangs of New York and like Deer Hunter and like all these like just dramas or whatever other style genre you want to do.
Yeah.
Have them be great movies and be superhero movies in like within that. So that's my thought. I think they shouldn't do the whole like we gotta do the shared universe. Just like everyone's just like doing that carbon copy of Marvel.
I mean, they've tried. Like Superman has its own. Like the Henry Cavill Superman has, like they've done like solo movies of just Superman.
But it's in a connected universe. Like that was the jumping off
I see.
point.
I see what you're saying.
Like,
yeah, like they made those movies, but with keeping it in mind. Yeah,
they were trying to do this whole tied shit.
I see what you're saying.
That was a good attempt. It missed the mark, I think, because of Zack Snyder and some other stuff. But yeah.
I think do the cinematic universe, but dude, they just need someone. I know they have Jeff Johns being the creative director, but they really need to put someone that
they keep changing it though.
They need to put someone with the clear focus, clear vision,
yeah.
and execute it and not rush it. I felt like everything was rushed. Like we got to catch up to these guys. We got to catch up to these.
Justice League, and then let's do all this other shit.
So I'm saying, let's redo it. Start with Green Lantern, and make a sick one, and then go from there.
Training Day.
Yeah.
With Green Lantern, see that's what I'm saying. Like make a good movie. Don't worry about a franchise.
You ever had your shit pushed, dude?
I mean, look at how many Jokers.
Hal Jordan.
How many Jokers there are?
Oh yeah.
Like they're not focused.
Well, I mean, if you make that same argument about Spider-Man,
true.
There's like a bajillion Spider-Man.
But like within cinematic universe, they've been
like,
on point.
The
much
more
more,
recent,
much more. I do. Okay, so let's talk about other recent news with this. The Joker stuff that's been starting.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's a Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. I think that's leading, and they're doing this with like it's its own thing. They're doing the Batman Matt Reeves movie. I'm like, these are isolate. I feel like they're doing isolate. Like they're doing Elseworld stories, in my opinion. Like, that's where they can like.
But we have to wait for these to come out to know what's.
We have to wait for the Supergirl one.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, just going forward, I feel like, Aquaman, I think that's missing the mark. I think Shazam is aiming towards, like, trendy. It's like trying to be the Fortnite of these movies.
But it seems like it's hitting it. You know,
could,
they might
it
even
has potential.
They might even have some Fortnite gameplay in Shazam.
I know another movie that tried to be trendy, and that was Green Lantern. And so, that was also Jeff Johns.
They should have hired James Gunn, DC. Like, when he got fired,
instantly be like
Insta. You can play with whatever. You can play with whatever you want. Make him make a JLA Dark.
That could be misphrased.
What, Teen Titans?
Hey, a live action Teen Titans. Dude.
No, dude, have you seen what they're doing with Titans?
Yeah.
It is the shittiest thing.
Batman.
Wait, Titans is a series.
It's Teen Titans, but it's like a live action Teen Titans.
I haven't fucking seen it.
And like Raven is like this misunderstood like
teenager,
broken, fragile girl, and then Starfire is like a prostitute, I think.
Wow.
And the one that the Robin that's in this one, there's two Robins in it, but the Robin that's like in the group is like killing people. He's like, "Fuck Batman," and he said that, and I'm like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
I saw that.
That was at Comic-Con.
Yeah. Wait. So is this gonna be a movie or is this gonna be a show?
Okay.
Yeah.
DC's like Netflix thing.
Stupid. And Beast Boy is like, I don't know, some weird shit. Like I feel like they're missing the mark with a lot of these. Just like I feel like it's tone deaf. They're not understanding what makes these great or interesting. Yeah. Like you look at the old, like I was just watching just the intro to the Batman animated series. So on point. Like everything about it. They knew what they were doing. X-Men. What are you doing?
In the intro?
I'm through with your mind.
Okay, never mind. Does he punch like a acid thing, or that's just a scene? And the guy's like, boom. I think that's not in the intro.
That's not no. It's like a lot of the silhouettes.
There's
and
lightning
and like da-na-na-na. No, I'm not doing X-Men. It's so good. Like I can think of it beat by beat, and it's just like it's like theater. and which is great because that's where Batman is like
Mhm.
draws from. And then you think of like the Superman animated show, the Justice League animated show.
It was good.
Those fucking gold.
It was
Mhm.
good.
Why is it so difficult for them to translate that to live action? It boggles me.
They're like, we gotta scratch everything we've done. They
It's like I
shredded
feel
it.
like too many people cooks in the kitchen or too many producers
Maybe.
are like, we need this in there.
We need that guy from the movie to like, too many cooks. He just kind of like cuts down a few people and.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there just needs to be like a clear person in charge. The video cuts out.
Wait, was that just
I
now?
fucking charged that fucker.
Apparently
pisses
not.
me off. Whatever.
So again, if you're, well, they
Fuck
wouldn't
that
see
guy.
it now.
Well, the difference is I charge it and I usually just leave it plugged in until it's time to record. I unplugged it the morning. I left it charging all night and then I unplugged it in the morning. It was off.
What if it wasn't plugged in? Like it was plugged into the charger, but the
It
charger
was the
wasn't
light
plugged
was
in.
on. Whatever. We should have like a two.
Do you have two batteries?
No.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. Yeah. I feel like they're sporadic hopes, but I'd rather I don't like their cinematic universe. I don't
Yeah.
like their Flash. I don't like. There's supposed to be a Rock movie at some point. With Black Adam. I feel like at this point they're doing a Joker movie. They're doing a Black Adam movie. Their success is going to be villains.
What's crazy is they're just gonna make those movies because it makes money. As long as it makes money, as long as you break
How
even,
long will that go though?
they'll never hit negative.
Really?
They won't never hit those kind of movies. People will go to see and they'll never
Just-
hit negative.
That's
I don't think so.
so. There's no way for them to listen.
They're just gonna make it.
That's a bummer. Feels bad. What is your take?
I agree with you guys. Like they're missing the mark. I don't know if it has to do because they're tone deaf. I feel like it's like they had these in plan and they're like, yeah, we're not gonna scratch them. We'll just continue with them. And then that's where it's like the timing's just off now. Like you had these ideas, but like things are changing so quickly that it's just not working out anymore. You gotta stop, scrap everything and start all over. Like even you don't have to start over. Start from the moment you're at already and just new ideas now. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon. It'll take more flops for them to maybe find out. We'll see. But who do you, just off the top of your head real quick, who do you think a good Superman would be?
We already said it.
Oh, wait, my
Good
serious
Superman
answer,
pick?
Nicolas Cage. No, wait, let
That
me
doesn't
see.
count.
That's like
kidding.
that's the
That's the
go-to
easy.
answer. Everyone's
Ken
gonna say-
Jeong. No, did you see that Twitter picture? No, let me see.
The who's
do you have a pick?
the guy from I don't know why I keep wanting to say that. The guy from this happened last time too. I can't remember the damn name. It's from Deadpool. The guy with no powers in the movie.
The mustache guy?
Kevin, yeah.
Him?
He had a tweet about it. He's
Oh.
like, if you guys need a new Superman, let me know. And it's him doing the skydiving from the movie. So I think honestly, like that guy, if he like worked out, could be a pretty good Superman. So I'd have to give it to him. No, he's like my fun pick. I'll think of someone right now for you guys. But do you guys have anyone?
I'm trying to think.
I know what I want to envision. Like, there's a certain Superman I want, and I'm trying to think of the actor that would embody that. I would say... Okay, I know you're going to pick it up immediately. Can you think of, like, a notable actor that is older, that has, like, a good build?
Tom Cruise.
No.
Older.
Older than that.
Like 40, 50?
Like, gray hairs. But, like big.
The guy from
The guy from Avatar?
yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
The bad guy, the
The
scar?
soldier.
Like, more of a,
Less scary.
yeah, less but, like, I would say more like an Alec Baldwin body. Like, big.
John Hamm? No, I was kidding.
He'd be good for a Batman, and he
Mhm.
said he'd want to be a Batman. Because I was leaning, he could be Superman, but I don't see him. playing
Oh,
cards.
Sofia Vergara's husband, Joe Manganiello?
No, he's
No?
playing Deathstroke.
Is he really playing this?
He was in the end of one of the movies.
Holy
It was
shit.
in the trailer. He takes the mask off, and it's him. I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of like an older, like someone like, imagine Gran Torino, but like buff. Fuck. I know there's actors for this. Like, not Kevin Costner, maybe someone else like him. Who comes to mind?
Do you remember the actor that almost became Negan? He's from Lost. I don't know his name. It's a very small part, unknown, but he's kind of big. But he doesn't look like Superman.
Wait, which actor from Lost?
Fuck, dude. They were on the ship.
Sean Locke?
No. He wasn't a main character. When Desmond was on the ship doing the constant, there was this bad guy. They were on that guy's ship.
Oh,
He's like a big
I know
dude.
you're talking about. Okay.
But he doesn't look like Superman.
No. But who was the other guy you just mentioned? The Negan.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Negan? Okay, I'm just going to go with Negan because he looked like, imagine like someone like Negan. I want to do old Superman, like Kingdom Come.
Dude, do Kingdom Come.
If they do Kingdom Come, they could win people.
Yeah.
This could be like, because it could be like are you familiar with Kingdom Come?
Yeah, I know the Batman. It's just, I'm going to sidetrack. Never mind. Just go. What were you
I
saying?
think that story would be a good restart because it's so far in the future.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an age when superheroes have gone, and like people, it could be sort of like a commentary on today, where it's like people don't look at superheroes anymore. They're looking at like the present, the dangers of today, the hardship.
The old guy could be Larry David. Was the preacher? Was he a reverend?
Yeah, he's like. Yeah, I think it's a good story, and it would remind people why superheroes, and that I think would be a good way of people being like, what makes DC special? I think that story would be, that's the reset, and then from there you have a clean palette because it's just its own.
There's a scene in one of the, I think Batman versus Superman, which they stole from Kingdom Come. I don't know if you remember when Superman's in the Batcave with Batman and they're talking, and then Superman leaves and Batman turns around to talk, and he's like, oh, he gets cold shivers. Like, oh, so that's what it feels like. Like they took that in BVS, I think. I think it's in BVS. But that's a cool scene. So that's what that feels like.
Yeah,
That's my final. I was due like some
Kingdom
older
Come.
guy. I'm gonna keep thinking.
I was thinking of everyone because, like, what I was gonna say is Henry Cavill in Mission Impossible reminds me of like a very rugged person. So I was thinking like casting him specifically, not Superman, but obviously, but like a very kind of like old Logan, like the how do I explain it? Just like a rugged character, like, you know, him fucking pumping his
I know who
locking
to be
up his
Superman.
guns.
Who?
Tom Welling from Smallville. Just cast him, dude.
Oh,
Just cast him as
that'd be
Superman.
interesting.
Let's do it.
That'd be interesting.
And Michael
for
Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor again. Let's go. Let's do it.
Sure. Bring it back.
Let's do it.
I still
Damn.
can't think of anyone. I wanted to cast someone older, but I'm
Tom
Mike.
Welling. It's like 40, dude.
I'm really bad with knowing people. Like, I don't even know.
He's from Smallville.
No, I would have Ed Harris play Superman.
Oh, wow. He's maybe 10 years younger, Ed Harris. He's
Like-
a bit too old, dude.
Scullers.
Yeah, maybe be a good old Batman.
Yeah,
I could see that.
I could see that.
He'd have that demeanor.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I need to figure out an old Superman, but I'd want to do an older Superman.
Yeah.
That'd be good. I just got to go through those like bucket list movies or the.
They should make a
Michael Douglas. That'd be a weird choice.
Christopher Walken.
He'd be a good Green Lantern. In bright as day,
Black
black as night. No evil. I can't do it right now. All right, next topic.
Yeah, let's move.
Okay, I'll go. So Ninja just got like today, as of Monday, is the first professional gamer to be featured on ESPN's like magazine, and I think that's a big thing because it's like physical sports acknowledging like esports and just pro gamers and stuff.
And real quick, because we're doing this, we're releasing it next week, right? Or no, this
So
on Monday. So then the previous
we're
Monday.
a week ahead. We're a week early. Sorry, a week early. Yeah. So I was just curious, and like with that, it made me think about like other things that have been happening big with games, such as like UCI and a few other universities have implemented like gaming curriculums. You've seen gaming becoming like much more into like being considered seriously. Like, oh, people are like, oh, before it used to be like, oh, maybe if you want to go to like a tech school, you go to a gaming design. Now it's like being offered in curriculums as well. So I'm like what do you think is the next big thing for like a video game impact on just any like just general society, like non-gamers or
It's gonna be in the Olympics. I'm gonna put money on it.
really?
It's gonna be in the Olympics.
Wait, games in the Olympics.
I mean,
Video games.
there are talks about it. I think it's going to get to that.
Okay. How soon do you see that happen?
I want to say 8 years,
No.
but
It's like
2 Olympics. I mean, the next Olympics are in Japan.
I think it will have to do with Twitch somehow, and I'm leaning more towards like a negative headline having to do with security.
There's quite a bit of those.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
just like, and that's within like, honestly, like within the next year.
Yeah.
This
I
year
believe
to
so.
2019. Yeah.
Like I could see something happening where they're like massive hacks in releasing
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, so it's either like info leak or something. Not necessarily having to do with TwitchCon. That's not like where I'm thinking, but because they're trying to implement like there's been issues with like what happened with Dr. Disrespect, and so there's been
With the
talks
shooting?
about there's talks, and just to let people know, it was a BB gun that
it was?
shot at. Yeah, with
That's so freaky.
yeah, it was like a high powered because it shit broke a window.
Yeah. And it happened twice.
Yeah, but you know, with that, like even news started releasing like kind of his like general location. They're like he lives in California. Like you're starting to find out. You're like, holy shit. But I feel like stuff like that's gonna happen more now, and not necessarily like with like the shooting, but like leaked information.
Yeah.
On certain streamers, and then you know Twitch will have to come out with like new rules or something. I don't know.
Okay. Because I'm trying to think of stuff that would. I mean, yeah, that would. I think it's gonna be something on the level of like they somehow find a way to implement like Twitch or something like it into education systems. Like you could have a teacher stream.
It's like Ready Player One.
Why not? Like, it could be like a small way, like because I know.
All right, kids, put on
I
your
know like
Oculus
talk.
Rift.
I know like talk shows, like they do talk shows on Twitch where, and one of them is Comic Book Girl 19. She'll do like a book club every week, curriculum, and then she'll post it on YouTube for people to watch later. I'm like, this is like a class.
She should do a live VR thing, dude.
A VR thing.
Yeah, she'll be like, "Hey guys, book club today's live VR. If you got a
In the
Oculus Rift."
Dr. Manhattan.
In the Dr. Manhattan.
She's doing her calendar. It's pretty crazy. It was Sandman related. At least that one of the parts is. Anyway, but I think that something like that will have like a massive sweeping effect of like people that aren't gamers are gonna be like, oh, I have a reason to go to Twitch, and that's like another big pull in the gaming direction because what else can you get on Twitch? You can see games, you can see all this stuff, and that'll have its own good and bad. But like the big statement will be like Twitch in school. You're like, whoa. So then now it's like every kid gets an iPad or something. That'd be huge, and I'd see that 3 years earliest. I'm probably. I mean, I think they'll be unsuccessful. It's gonna take someone to succeed at it to make it big.
But what's crazy is Twitch viewage, like certain events, are surpassing the Walking Dead premieres or
like
season
the World
enders.
Series.
Yeah, just like the viewage is just like killing it.
Wow.
So it could happen sooner.
I think another one too is going to be a new streaming service.
Really?
Yeah, but that'll be like the next.
But see, these sorts of things,
3
like,
years.
I could see them being big waves within gaming communities. I'm trying to think, which is hard, but like
Mainstream?
of like it breaking into other people like world. Like for a sports player, they don't.
So
normally
his
see
his
an
was a good one off the bat then.
Yeah. So, but it's I'm trying to like it's hard for me.
My
to, like,
Twitch one wasn't that great. So it would have to do with an individual, like you're saying, because one guy has to be like
someone will be like the front runner of
sensitive,
something,
yeah.
or the spear.
yeah, like already like
Ninja,
with the
yeah.
topic you're bringing up, it's Ninja with ESPN. Like ESPN is a physical sport, like as in,
or it's just like a hub
yeah.
for sports. Yeah.
And so it didn't include video games until this moment that Ninja is literally on it now, and they have like a section about him as a professional gamer.
Colleges, instead of being in the game room, you now have people like training.
Go to the game room. No, I meant the video game room.
You need to work on your ADS.
Yeah.
Or
Shit.
KD for Overwatch. Your comms are off, or whatever. I don't know. It's a thing.
What?
But in ways like that, like education is one. I'm trying to think.
Because I know, like, honestly, like military purposes, like video games have been used for a while now, like soldier wise, or even like flight. They use video games for
tank simulators.
Yeah.
Or video games.
I don't know if something like that would.
They do it like medical too, VR, to get doctors to like. I don't know to what extent, but to practice.
When you say that, my first thought is what is it called? The surgery. What's the joke game?
Oh yeah,
Trauma Center.
Simulator.
Oh my god, dude! Where you're just like messing up.
Like, you tell the doctor to do the surgery. He's like, "Oh, by the way, that was real." Like,
what?
But it'll be like
he's jokingly stabbing the heart with their room.
They're operating like sort of like how a Mars mission would be. They're operating a robot which does the precision movements, and it's like, so those are impactful, but I think they sort of exist. I don't know.
I think more coverage on ESPN.
Yeah.
Because you only see Evo. That's the only. That's the only thing that I see on ESPN.
And that was recent too, right?
It's on ESPN 2, not even ESPN. So I think I'll bump it up to ESPN.
I think, I don't know, with like this talk about, Ninja being on ESPN the cover, he might be the first to be on ESPN 1. Like they'll do an event with like some tournament, and they'll just have him as like not even like the host. Obviously, he'll be professional. That's also attending like the event, but they could have it with him.
I think there's going to be another big. I'm still leaning more towards education, just because I feel like Minecraft was one that was a big push in education. People were like, "This is a huge game," and then eventually they're like, "This is being put into schools now," and like at an early age for like basic stuff, or could be complex stuff, but like extra curricular. But something big like that. And I had an idea for a while of that, like an educational MMO, and like your classes, your subclasses, or your trees would be different class topics, so like English, history, math, whatever.
You can max them all out.
Go for the raid.
100% completionist, man.
That's your final exam.
The raid.
Just a little speculation. I was kind of curious what you guys thought.
Yeah.
Pick your brains. Next topic.
Okay. So, bringing it back to PAX.
Bringing it back.
So there was a tournament, Fortnite tournament at PAX.
I
and
won.
He won $1 million, $2 million tournament. It was an open invitational, and so my question is, should pros be allowed to play at open invitationals?
So I like off the bat, I don't think. I think there has to be rules. There has to be rules. Like there has to be set rules. Like if you're talking about like allowing everyone, it's. Man, like now that I think about my answer, it seems wrong.
Because if you were the tournament holder, you would want the pros to play because they draw in awesome
people.
plays
But then like if it's like a full open invitational, I would have to say like you're inviting everyone, But then if you're saying like this is an amateur league, and then like and you're like any amateur or like anyone essentially, but then like that's where it's messed up because like these pros are just gonna wipe the floor with these people.
So I have two schools of thought. I'm gonna just spitball them out. I think if you're gonna call it open, fucking go open. So they gotta rename it. So if they want a pro matchup, have a pro matchup. That'll be like the All-Star game or whatever you gotta watch, and then have the public matchup, and this is open to average Joe, whoever that is not considered pro. And I'll get into how you distinguish that after. But it would be like you have it's sort of like this is where the people that are like have been training, they've been playing, night and day, all this stuff. And then here's where anyone can do it. Like it's like sort of like I won the lottery, like I can compete, and you do, and luck of the draw, you'll see how it goes. Now, how do you distinguish that? I feel like a pro player, if there's like other tournaments or if there's a circuit of tournaments, much like Capcom does or something, you should be registered. And if you're registered in that, you can't compete in this other one.
Mm.
And if you're in this other one, you can't compete
I feel like
in that year's
they're
circuit.
still within that because, like,
Why?
thinking about it, my first thought was, like, anyone that's sponsored. Because if you're sponsored, generally you're pretty pro. But then, like, there are certain amateur pro players that, like, they're essentially, like, they're brand new to, like, being pro. And they're not like that the level that these other pros are at. They're still training to get there. You know, they receive sponsorships, or for them to be able to get in these pro matches to make money, they have to set themselves up as a pro, even though they're still like the lowest level pro.
But
and
if they go into that public, in my world, if they go into this public one, they should be barred from any circuit tournaments for pros for that year, for the next year.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you want to go into this, go for it, but you're not going to be able to go into any of these other ones to help your career.
That's just like my friend who's a competitive eater. He doesn't want to go pro because if he goes pro, you can't do food challenges. You're banned from food challenges. So that's why he's like, fuck, I want to do food challenges.
Yeah.
So he doesn't go pro. So it's like the same exact. But see, this is my thing. Like,
he can't do official food challenges. So he can still like
he won't be able to do Nathan's hot dogs.
He can still do it, just not record like the like not have an official.
I mean,
time,
he can't go pro. I mean, he can't do money.
Yeah, exactly.
Events.
Okay.
But if you're making money from gaming, you're considered pro. If that's your like primary source of income, you should not be allowed.
I just feel like there's levels to that, you know.
There are levels to it,
and
but I mean, if you're making a living off of it, I mean, shit.
But then how is it distinguishable? Because like you can't really, you know, usually like you don't give your exact salary. You give kind of like a ballpark.
Right.
And then that's where it gets like, I don't know. It's just there's so many small things. Like obviously, yeah, it's like that. That's like I feel like it's a good answer. But like once we get official, like there's small things we got to fix on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Then I think the other way is if you're going public, like a open game, go open, mix it, everything, whatever. But I would say. I mean, again, you have to figure out who's pro and who's not. Because I was going to say, like, handicap the pro players. That way it makes it more enticing for the average player to be like, Ninja's playing in this tournament, but
no shit.
He has 1 HP.
He can only use, like, the up to X tier gun.
He can only use his feet.
He can only use the blue color. Actually, he'd still wreck with the blue color.
Or, like, he's limited to resources, like, capped at a way lower, like, maximum materials. So he plays differently. Yeah. And it's like, how does he get out of this if he's able to compete? I don't know.
It's
that
funny.
Could be a way, but again, you have to distinguish.
Before, like when we came up with the topic to talk about this one, my thought was like, no pro players. Like it's a simple answer, no. But then when you ask the question, I realized like, oh no, you're like he's doing like an open invitational.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up to bar certain people. But like yeah, so then it becomes weird like how to. It's all based on the rules like after that point. So yeah, but like. I think yours is a really good one where, like, if they're pros, they have to put on, like, this pro list to be able to play pro matches, and then from there you're barred from, like, just standard matches. You can only play in pro level from that point. But then that's tough for pro. Like, once you become pro, then you're playing against the best of the best, and that's the only time you're going to make money. When a lot of pro players do play, like, everything they possibly can to make money, and that's how they stay. That's how they make their livable income. So once you kill that for them, I feel like a lot of that goes away. Yeah.
I thought a lot of them do the streaming as their main source.
I think sponsorships is their main.
Not necessarily. I feel like I still think streaming for professionals is still like newer to the idea for money making. So there's still a lot of streamers.
A lot of professionals don't stream.
Exactly. There's still a lot of pro players. Like when it comes to like Leagues of Legends, there's a lot of the top players do stream, but there's still a shit ton of other top players that don't. Yeah, because like it's easy to like
stream snipe and figure out the strategy.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
So
that was one of the things. Oh, I was going to talk about Destiny's the world's first raid. There was a point with the raid, and this kind of goes into this strategy thing a little bit. So it's not too far of a tangent. Where normally streamers, you watch them because you want to see them figure these puzzles out, and they will figure the puzzles out live. So people will be like, oh, the way this mechanic works is X, Y, Z. That's how we get through. But it got to a point with some of them where they were muting their mics, discussing the technique they believed worked, unmuted the mics, did it, and people were like, how did they do it? And then
They thought they were cheating.
Other streamers were like their chat was sounding off and like, oh, this group like figured it out. Everyone was stuck at this puzzle. It was like a vault, and no one knew. I'm talking 5 hours stuck on one puzzle.
Everyone.
Ready
Just
Player
One group was pushed ahead.
Yeah.
And it was like a small streamer, but he blew up because of that. Because him and his
He was
group-
ahead of it.
And the one that I was telling you guys got toxic, the Dado guy. Him and a few other streamers like, dude, they got lucky. Like they did not legit figure this out, and they were just calling out that group and like bullshit. Like that's bull.
Yeah.
So then they were getting salty and they were muting their mics, and people were like, what's the point of a streamer then? Like you're doing this on stream. Like why are you streaming? And so
Yeah.
it was like this weird back. Anyway, it goes into the whole doing something like
Yeah,
a
getting your
strategy
stream.
and competing.
Mhm.
This is a competition, but then doing. And some people were arguing is like, hey, anything goes. So like if you're gonna like say you frown upon a team from hearing another stream's strategy and then using it in yours to stay on par with them, it's like all is fair in the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was going to that.
Wow.
about the strategy.
That's crazy.
It was intense. I was like, I've never seen. Usually, the world's first tournament is like still just a neck and neck competition, but this one got kind of like heated because literally in the first 24 hours, only 24 and 2 minutes, only 3 teams finished. All prior raids have done at least 100 or so completions of different people. Like the next day, the next like within that 24 hours.
Yeah.
Like later on, they watched. They're like, okay, we can figure it out. This one, 3 teams. They're like, did Bungie go too far?
I know what the solution was. Driving backwards.
Ready Player. Yeah. Anyway, going back to the competition stuff, it's going to be hard to regulate. I
Yeah.
feel like you're going to have issues of like, was that ethical? Was that? But the whole point of these things is just have fun. I feel like
So then don't regulate it.
How do you feel if we were in a tournament, a local tournament? Should pros
And
play
then all
in
of a
local
sudden, like
tournaments?
Ninja walks in, you're like, what the
Tetris.
fuck, dude? Oh,
That's like the number one
That's a good
Tetris.
dude, those
What if he
guys-
comes in and like,
number
hey,
3 in Seattle.
whole other level.
it's
dude.
open,
It's funny because
open
like,
worlds.
But again,
I've-
I went to that because that was a casual tournament. I was like,
Right.
I don't care. I just want to see how I do. And I
casual
wanna play.
my ass, dude. Shit.
I think that
Shit.
girl.
You came in thinking it was casual. Shit wasn't casual.
I had a fun time. As long as I get to play.
Yeah, I retired from Tetris.
You retired from Evo.
Street Fighter, Tetris. What's next?
Yeah. The retired last boss.
See, but like, that's the skill, like the skill difference.
But I think that says something about the pro player. I'm like, what are you
Well, he's
doing?
like, I got to keep up with my skills.
Fucking bully.
Well, it could be like he's like, I'm a PAX, and then he's like walking by like we did, and we're like, oh shit, tournaments, and then just like out of nowhere, he's like, that's the fucking number 1 game I'm at, it's just, and then just wrecks everybody.
Guy or girl needs.
It's funny because I've seen like, I think it was like the world record for like a Tetris game. I don't know what specific one, but it looked like an old school one.
Mm-hmm.
And even after watching it, like the guy, I guess there's a point where like it goes all like
Yeah,
black and
I've
you don't
seen
see
that.
anything, and they still get it. Like, and I
It's
I
crazy.
still didn't think anything about it. Like honestly, like watching it, like without
Have
a
you ever
person
had-
being there, but then being at the Puyo Puyo thing and just seeing it live, like the person's there and he's doing it in real life. I was like, my mind was blown for some reason. I don't know why a live thing is more than. But isn't crazy. It's
Turns
insane.
into another beast.
It's insane.
I think it says more about the pro player than it does about the casual player. I'm doing better in life. Like, I got my shit together. How about you?
Just and the thing like with Destiny is you can just play trials and see the difference, dude. You get wrecked, dude. You get single. You like peek out, poof, just headshot. Like you see the bright spot, and then you're just dead. It's crazy. Ban all pro players. It's still tough though because I do think like every tournament, including like the small ones, are generally like an income for professionals. Not just every person that's
Well,
not streaming.
On the flip side, it's like, okay, I'm looking at fighting games more. Like that's where I see more tournaments than anything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the ultimate thing for a fighting player is to keep their blade sharp, like keep their skills sharp. So they
Mhm.
just gotta play everyone and anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So if they go into like a local fight, go into a local fight. Like
See, it's tough. It's tough now that I think about it. When you like open your mind to the
I
idea,
say leave the
you're
doors
like, how
open.
the fuck do you like block someone
I
from
don't know.
doing this? It's tough because he's got to practice. You know,
On
like
the
I don't
flip
want to have
side-
an open party
If
and
you
invite like a
win
pro
as
Smash
public
player.
then what is that? That shows you where you stand. Like
Mhm.
it's like you're saying this is the kiddie pool.
Yeah,
Like you're not allowed to play with the big leagues.
Mhm.
Like I want a piece of the big leagues. Bring them.
and then you
And they
play
could
and
be-
you beat everyone there. You're just like, I
The
belong.
next
in,
big thing could be
I
right
belong
there.
in the big boy.
It's like
jacuzzi.
on the flip side, like Evo, Knuckle do, young kid, and just
Yeah.
rose, and he became pro because of that open tournament style.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm flipping. I'm
Of
going all.
evil.
If it's open, it's open.
Even the local small PAX tournaments.
I could have been the number one in Seattle.
Number one touch.
I have someone's headband, like blood sport.
Why you're still blind as shit from
Yeah.
this. Such a
Alright.
good movie.
This is the best. Amazing movie. Guys, let's end on a good
Yeah,
note there.
let's do it.
Where can people find you?
They can find me at the Fulio 365 on Instagram and in the Fulio all the social media.
At the last bosses everywhere.
At Kujo Prime. You can find us all at the Weekly DLC. And until next time, we'll
DLC.
You later.